Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Favor Anthony. I am a nursing student in the College of Nursing Sciences VOM, and in today's vlog I'll be sharing with you tips on how I passed my PTS exams in one sitting, and I think that these tips will be helpful to someone out there. So if this is the type of content you are interested in, please get your seat and let's get right into the video. So PTS means preliminary training school or training section, and it is an exam written after the first 6 months of your stay in the nursing school. So students who fail this exam are immediately withdrawn. I don't know of other schools, but for my school they are immediately withdrawn, and after you pass this exam you can be officially called a nursing student and wear your nightingale and your uniform boldly. So I wrote down some tips and I'll be sharing them with you right away. So the first tip that I'll be sharing is balance your activities. I think it's of top priority that you understand and you know the settings of the school, the time for tutorials if there is any, the time for sports if there is any too at your school, the time for classes, time for you to cook and even to socialize. I think it's very important that you know the time for all this and be able to balance your activities properly. The next is on reading. I think before coming to the nursing school or when you are in the nursing school, try to understand yourself better. Know how you assimilate, and when you assimilate, that's the best time of the day that you assimilate. Some people understand in the night. Some people like to read in the night. Some people like to read in the morning. Some people like to read in the afternoon. Some even prefer to read early hours of the morning, maybe around 4, around 2 or 3. And I think it's very important that you know the time you assimilate better so that you use that time to read. And I also think you should understand yourself to know if group reading works better for you or private reading, or just you if you're reading alone. It's not going to be a bad idea for you to try. You can have group discussion with other people to know if when they answer questions, do you assimilate more, does it stick to your memory more, or when you just read alone. Personally, I like reading on my own, but there are times when I just need to meet somebody or have group discussion to understand other things, to understand some topics better. So I think it's important that you know what works for you. The next tip is tutorials. I think tutorials are very important because personally tutorials helped me during my PTS, and I would say it helped me a lot to understand what is being taught in the class, because there are times when the lecturer is going through a topic and you don't seem to get it. Tutorials are very important and they help you understand more. So if maybe they don't do tutorials in your school, you can meet other nursing students that are ahead of you so that they will just help you and put you through those topics that you don't understand. And in the aspect of reading also, I think it's important, or it depends on how you read generally, but you can also read and jot down important points. I think it helps you not to forget things easily. Personally, when I read and I jot down points, when I come back to go through what I've read, I don't go back to the main notes. I just use my jottings and read my jotting and revise them over and over so that it will stick to my memory. So you can read and jot. I also think that it is important for you to pair your courses accordingly, how you read, because do not read bulky courses with those that are bulky too. I think the workload will be too much. So you can read courses that are not that bulky or that don't have a lot of theories for you to understand, with those that are easy to understand. You can just have probably anatomy and English, because I think in PTS we offered 8 courses: anatomy, chemistry, physics, English, sociology, ICT, nutrition, and FOM. So you can just pair them accordingly. If you are able to read 2 courses a day, you pick probably anatomy and pair it with English that is not bulky, so that you can be able to cover up and assimilate better. Yes, I also want to say that when reading, try as much as possible to read in between the lines, because you will not know where the questions will come out from. So you try and read in between the line and think through if something in that line has a possibility of coming out, and try to grab it. Reading for your PTS exam can be very stressful, and I won't say you should not cram. Yes, it's good for you to cram when you are reading and it's not just sticking, but I would say that you should try and cram formulas maybe in physics or chemistry, and that you can easily just jot down. But for theories and definition, cramming them I feel is a risk, because when you are asked to write it down and you forget something, you're in trouble. So for definitions by someone, maybe definition by World Health Organization, definition by Florence Nightingale, that you think are difficult for you to grasp, what I do is I write down these definitions and I put them at the side of my bed. I place them on the wall at the side of my bed, so that when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I see is those definitions, and I go through them. And then in the night again, I still go through those definitions, maybe before I sleep. And I'm telling you, if you do this every day, it has a way of just sticking to your head. Also, I think you can also do this for diagrams also, maybe diagrams of the heart and other diagrams that you are supposed to know how to draw. You can just draw them and place them on the wall beside you, so that when you wake up, they are the first thing you see, and it sticks. When reading, I think it's very important for you to understand concepts behind every topic, because you cannot just understand everything when you are reading for your PTS exam, but just try to understand what that topic is talking about, so that anytime you are asked, you are able to write down something about it and not leave a blank space or leave that question without answering. And lastly, I would like to stress the fact of eating. Please, eating is very, very important. You really need to eat, so that you prevent hypoglycemia, because your brain needs sugar. So eat well, so that you can be able to read well. And please don't forget the God factor. Also pray when reading and studying generally. You have to include that. So guys, these are some of the tips that helped me during my PTS, and I think it will help someone out there. Please comment on my videos and share tips that helped you during your PTS that you think may help someone out there. So like my video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be bringing more updates for you. Bye.